You're listening to Beyond Wellness Radio, bringing you the cutting edge in health, biohacking, and sports performance. Stay up to date and listen anywhere and anytime on your computer, tablet, or smartphone by subscribing on iTunes. Catch your host, Dr. Justin Marchegiani, as he answers your burning health questions as well as interviews from world-renowned guest experts. For more Beyond Wellness Radio, go to beyondwellnessradio.com.
Hey there, it's Dr. Justin Marchegiani. Welcome to Beyond Wellness Radio. Feel free and head over to beyondwellnessradio.com where you can access our full podcast transcriptions. While you're there, you can also sign up for our thyroid and female hormone video series. This series goes into the root cause of why your hormones are out of balance. While you're there, you can also schedule a functional medicine consult with Dr. Justin, myself, where we'll dig deeper into the root cause of your health challenges. Feel free and think of sharing this podcast with at least one person. This podcast grows by people sharing it. Sharing is caring. If you can think of one person that can benefit from this information, please feel free and share it. If you're enjoying the podcast, make sure you subscribe on iTunes. You can also click below the video or podcast where you'll see the iTunes review button and leave us a review. You can also sign up for the newsletter at beyondwellnessradio.com where you'll get updates before anyone else. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Evan, what's going on today, man?
Hey, not much. Just before you and I started talking, I was finishing up doing the Bulletproof podcast, and it was so fun. I got to admit, man, I'm not nervous for nearly any podcast, but for that one, I was a little bit like, oh, man, this is a big deal.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dave Asprey and a lot of the stuff he does. That's great. That's an awesome podcast to be on.
Yeah, so I had fun with that. So I'm in the mode of let's do it today.
That's cool. And also, we're going to be at the Bulletproof Conference.
I know.
Pretty stoked. Are you stoked about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad I made it happen. I'm glad that you pressured me and kept staying on top of me. Like, you have to go, you have to go, you have to go. Because I made it happen and we're doing it.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing some live interviews there and just some live analysis to kind of, give people some feedback on what's happening and our take on things. I think we're even going to try Periscope, some live video streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone wants to check me out, Justin Health on Periscope. I haven't done anything yet, but I will soon enough.
I need to download it, man. I'm behind the times.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what'd you have for breakfast today?
I had some organic ground turkey that my wife made last night for taco night. So I literally just had ground turkey and organic blue corn chips for breakfast, and it was delicious. And actually, I did a little bit of water with some lime juice cut and squeezed into it, and it was good.
That's awesome. Yeah, we did last night. We did some grass-fed meat, and we cooked it up. We add some spices to it, and we did some salsa, and we did some guacamole as well. Cut up some avocados. They were really hard, but we just threw them in the Vitamix and added some a little bit of salsa and lime juice to it, and it was like amazing.
Oh, that sounds good. I had guacamole too last night, and it was top notch.
I use these paleo wraps. Love them. They're like just coconut meat and sea salt, and we just threw some of the meat in there, and it was kind of like a homemade paleo burrito.
Oh, you did ground beef?
Yeah, just grass-fed meat with some of the salsa and homemade guacamole. Threw it in the paleo wrap, which is just coconut meat and sea salt, and it was great. Low sugar, good fats, good proteins. Felt great afterwards. None of this corn stuff, where you're getting all bloaty and getting that cross-reactive gluten stuff. We didn't have any of that.
That's true. I ate corn. It was organic corn, and I felt okay. So.
Oh, you lived. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, if you do the corn that's, at least GMO-free and organic, it's better. But corn is one of those things that's highly GMO'd and a lot of pesticides and chemicals. But I find a lot of people, even people that are paleo, they do better not doing corn. I mean, I will cheat every now and then with some gluten-free stuff, but 90%, 99%, I'll try to just do the better option like that.
Yeah, blue corn is the only thing I touch. I stay away from yellow corn, even if it is, GMO-free or organic.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, we're going to dive into the immune system a little bit today. I mean, it's getting to be that time of the year. I almost got sick in the last week. I mean, my voice never really got hoarse. I just had a slight little cough, but I was able to knock it out and knocked it out using some of our natural medicine immune strategies. And I wanted to dig into the immune system today with you.
Yeah, so that frog is gone for now?
Well, that frog is just me not having water and speaking for an hour at a time and needing a little bit of lubrication. But I had a little bit of a cough. And, one of the things that I'm a big fan of, any of my patients that listen know that I like the ginger tea, especially for die-off reactions when we're adding in certain antimicrobial herbs to address any infections we may be seeing. I do a couple pieces of ginger, throw in my Vitamix, add just a little bit of water to it, and then half a lime to a full lime squeeze. Don't put the lime rind in. I learned that the hard way. It makes it way too tart and sour. But we just do that, and maybe it's just a touch of honey in there, and I just use the pulp, and I put maybe an eighth of it in the bottom of the cup, and then add hot water, and it's just enough, and it's really powerful. Now, ginger is antiviral too, so if you have a throat issue and you got some kind of virus adhesing onto the mucosal tissue in the throat or the mouth, that ginger can really help decrease that viral adhesion. It's also anti-inflammatory, and it's also an antitussant. So like, Robitussin, right? Those are like anti-cough. So it's an antitussant, so it can help relieve coughing and that urge, that have that tickle in your throat and wanting to scratch it by coughing, if you will.
Yeah, I will admit there was a lady that came into the office this week that was coughing and sneezing and snotting everywhere, and she was like wiping her hand on her nose and then putting it on the equipment. I was a little bit paranoid, so when I came home, I did a little brew I had some liquid chaga, which is a mushroom. So I had the liquid chaga. I didn't use reishi that day. I should have. I used chaga, and then I used matcha tea, and then I just added a little bit of that Shijandra berry powder and stirred it up and drank it. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to be okay.
Nice. Awesome. So you're a big fan of the matcha, huh?
Yeah, I love matcha. I'm actually running low right now on my supply, but I had a whole salsa jar full of just straight matcha powder.
I just like saying matcha. It just kind of rolls off the tongue. Matcha.
It makes you feel cool saying that.
I know. I like it. Cool. Well, let's dive into the immune system a little bit. We'll go over some kind of foundational info for immune health, but also some of the supplements that you can use to enhance your immune system, because a lot of people, they're so focused on the supplements, but then the diet and lifestyle stuff is all messed up, and it's just like they're just trying to put makeup over a whole bunch of pimples. We got to actually get to the root issue, and if we do both, then we actually can significantly supercharge our immune system.
Yeah, so when you say immune system, to me, I mean, the first stress that I picture is blood sugar / adrenal stress that lowers the immune system. A lot of people that are eating this junk and they're burning the candle at both ends. They're trying to be a CEO and run a company on the side and all this stuff. That adrenal stress taxes the immune system, and these are the people that get sick. And I've worked with some big wigs before in my day, and I've seen that those people are always sick. So that's kind of my starting point, is the chronic stress picture.
Yeah, I mean, cortisol will inhibit the immune system. It's common knowledge that it does that. Well, people know that stress, if you're more stressed, you're more likely to get sick, right? People know that. Well, cortisol is one of those stress hormones that's going to be intimately tied in to weakening the immune system. Not to mention that blood sugar issues, adding extra sugar to your diet. I did a blog post a year or two on immune function. And I posted one study that showed people having a certain amount of glucose, I think it was 100 grams of glucose, they had their immune system inhibited up to 2 to 3 days. And because glucose actually looks similar to vitamin C, right, from a molecular standpoint, is actually a receptor site, I think on the lymphocyte, where vitamin C binds in to have an antioxidant effect. Well, glucose can actually pinch hit and bind in on that lymphocyte, on that immune cell. And again, if we're putting glucose in places where vitamin C should be, that's not a good thing. And we know that glucose inhibits the immune function up to multiple days. And that's not good. So if you take a whole bunch of soda or a whole bunch of sugar thinking you're helping yourself out, and you're just shutting your immune system down, and then if you're around sickies, a whole bunch of people that are sick and coughing, now you're really compromised, and your chance of getting sick is through the roof now.
Right. There's so much we could talk about with immune function, but I guess if I would keep the listeners interested, I'll go ahead and say I've talked about my first cure with the matcha and the, a little bit of raw honey. Matcha.
I love it.
So, the matcha, the Shijandra, I like a little bit of raw honey in there when possible. The next thing that I like to go to is bone broth. I had some weird throat stuff a few weeks ago. The weather went crazy. It went from like mid 70s low 80s to 55 and rainy all day, and I felt awful, and so did my wife, and we were both grumpy. So we just stayed home and just sipped on bone broth, and I felt incredible. I actually like to add some extra Himalayan salt to it because I liked it to be salty.
Yeah, I like it too. I do the real salt. I'm a bigger fan of the real right now.
What's up with that one compared to just like your standard pink Himalayan?
Well, pink Himalayan, they come from those Himalayan, Himalayan rocks, so to speak. The real salt comes from a reserve over in Redmonds, Utah. I just like it. It dissolves better in the water. So I do a lot of salt in the water in the morning. So I just like how it just dissolves. It's a little more pulverized, a little bit more finer. And just the flavor. It has a little bit more of a bite. So just for me, I just like it off the tip of my tongue. I have two on my table. I have a real salt and also a Himalayan. The Himalayan I have is just a little bit bigger. It probably needs to go through a grinder, but the real salt's just right for me.
Yeah. Now, what about, now that we're on the subject of table ornaments for spices, do you use like an organic ground black pepper?
Yeah, we do have one on the table. I mean, I typically just stick to sea salt. My wife will add and mix some things. She'll put some cumin on things, some turmeric on things, some curry on certain things. Like last night, we did a little more spices. So I kind of leave it up to her for that. I'm pretty plain Jane when it comes to my seasoning. I just like a good, clean sea salt.
Yep.
Maybe some basil or some parsley from time to time, depending on what I'm eating.
Yep. What do you got next? I know there's so many directions we can go with this thing on immune system.
Yeah. So again, your immune system, right? Well, one of the first parts of the immune system is your mucosal barrier system, right? So your throat, your nose, your ears, your eyes, all those different parts of the system. Now, the throat's like kind of one of the first places that I see inflammation happening due to like a compromised immune system. So like that tickle in your throat or that slight bit of cough or that slight bit of runniness in the nose. Now, your body has that reaction because it's trying to get it out, right? Something's coming in, it's trying to get it out. It's running the nose to kind of get things out, to drain things out. So we want to support that. We don't want to just take something that's going to just suppress the mucus, like, a mucoplex or something like that that's going to just turn it off. We want that mucus there initially to get things out. So that's really important. Now, number two, we got to make sure the diet's dialed in, the sugar and stuff's out, and we got to make sure the protein's good because a lot of the antibodies that your immune system makes, those antibodies are protein-based. We want to make sure we're getting enough good, clean proteins to be able to make those antibodies.
Well, and make sure you're digesting those proteins too. So we could almost argue that betaine could be a good immune boost in a roundabout way.
Yeah, well, making sure you're digesting your proteins is, huge because anything we don't digest, it just sits there and it rots, and that creates immune stress because 70 to 80% of our immune system is in our stomach and small intestine, in the galt and in the malt. So we gotta know that off the bat. So make sure the diet and the lifestyle stuff is dialed in. I already kind of talked about the blood sugar. I did a video on this last year, so just Google Dr. Justin Health, blood sugar and immune system, and that video will come up. And I talked about that study of the 100 grams of glucose inhibiting the immune system, over a day or so, and that's kind of a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So on that note, let's kind of dig in a little more to what the immune system is. So you have kind of two branches to the immune system. You have the Th1, which is the cytotoxic part of the immune system. This is like, if we look at the armed forces, this is kind of like the Navy SEALs. This is like the Delta Force, the Army Rangers, the people that go into that area when it's hot first. That's the Th1. And the Th2 is the humoral. That's the antibody-based immune system. So like the Th1 is like our CD8, like our natural killer cells. They go in there and they get after it first. And then our Th2 immune system, this is like our antibodies. These are like the infantry or the people that come in after the fact to really provide the extra defense. Now, regarding the analogy and equating it to the Army and stuff and the Navy, this is like the infantry or the troops that come in later on. With our immune system, these are like our antibodies. IgA is a powerful antibody. This lines our nasal tract, our oral cavity. It lines our throat. It lines our gut, urinary tract, and or vaginal canal. So this provides a really good line of defense against invaders. So IgA is a big one. IgG is going to be like our delayed immune reaction. This is why people tend to start getting better after about 7 days, because that IgG takes about a week to kind of mount an attack. So the IgG comes later. It's a little bit slow getting to the fight. IgA's there a little bit more acutely, and it lines all of those mucosal barrier systems. And then IgM's also another acute system as well that is really important for mounting that acute attack.
I've heard, for some reason, every time I hear somebody talking about TH1 and TH2, I always hear about people that are really sick. I've heard this at like paleo conferences. A lot of people are TH2 dominant as opposed to TH1. Why is that?
Well, people, you're saying TH2 dominant?
Yeah. Every time I hear somebody talking about TH1 and TH2, everybody's like, oh, I'm TH2, and they act like it's so much more of a big deal. I just don't fully understand.
Yeah, I've actually heard it the other way around, that it's more TH1, like people that are more Hashimoto's and stuff. That's the most common autoimmune condition. That's TH1 dominant. But I mean, a lot of it's just hyperbole to me, because you have two branches of your immune system. And the TH1 part of the immune system, this is going to get boosted up more with like our herbs like echinacea, golden seal, medicinal mushrooms like chaga or reishi or cordyceps or coriolis, right? So like those are more like immune stimulators, kind of, so to speak. Also like astragalus, I think I said echinacea, elderberry. These are more TH1. Then your TH2 stimulators tend to be more antioxidants. These are like resveratrol, turmeric, curcumin, which is, basically turmeric, green tea, right? More of our antioxidants tend to be more on the TH2 side. Now, for me, a lot of people are autoimmune, and they tend to have one of their immune system branches is polarized, meaning there's a shift, either higher TH2, lower TH1, or higher TH1, lower TH2. So kind of think of it as like a seesaw. The healthier your immune system is, that seesaw is kind of in the middle. And the more unhealthy it is, one side's really up. So imagine like a heavier person on the seesaw and then a lighter person, right? You get that major skew. The lighter person's way up in the air and the heavier person's down on the ground, and vice versa. So we want to keep balance. So looking at things, if you're sick, I don't really put that into account. I don't really take the TH1 or TH2 into account that much. My goal is, if someone's starting to get sick, I want the TH1 system to get revved up, because that's really the acute system that's getting the Navy SEALs, the Delta Force, the Army Rangers out to mount an attack. And conventional medicine pretty much ignores the TH1 immune system, right? Vaccines don't work off TH1, they work off TH2. They make antibodies, right? That's the protective, the protective so-called antibodies that you get from vaccinations. But TH1, you don't get any TH1 benefit from vaccinations. And actually, there's research to say that, like that seesaw, right? That vaccination may actually upregulate that TH2. And what happens to the seesaw if one side's going up really high? The TH1 can go down on the other side. So,
yeah, and sickness occurs.
Yeah, and then again, you want that TH1, you want your Navy SEALs ready to go. So that's why I'm a big fan of medicinal mushrooms and some of these herbs that either stimulate the immune system, or they can actually help provide killing of the bacterial or viruses that are coming in there. Like, for instance, the polysaccharides and the triterpenes in some of the mushrooms like reishi can deactivate viruses. That's powerful. Taking like a colloidal silver can be a really good viral killer, right? Those are really nice. And then some of the things like astragalus can actually improve TH1, also improve your B cell production as well, echinacea as well. So again, that's why the herbs are powerful, because they really take into account the TH1 branch of the immune system that conventional medicine totally ignores.
Yep. Yeah, I knew it didn't change our action plan in terms of understanding TH1, TH2 necessarily, but I'm glad that you were able to clear that up, because it gets confusing quick when you dig deep into the inner workings. But then when you zoom out and you say, oh, we need these herbs and these mushrooms, that's, people are like, oh, thank God, it's simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, looking at like the flu vaccine, I'm not a fan of that flu vaccine. There's been some research on it. The Cochrane Collaborative did a full study on this, a meta-analysis, and the study was done by Dr. Thomas Jefferson. I always remember his name because he's like a president, right? Yeah. But he did the study a while back, looking, I think, at 15 different meta-analyses, and I'll read the conclusion here in just a second. But really, it's found ineffective, and the take-home message was that
I'd say about 90, upwards of 85 to 90% of people that get flu-like symptoms, they aren't actually even caused by the flu. They're caused by other viruses that mimic flu-like symptoms, the paramyxovirus, adenovirus, rhinovirus, etc. So most people that think they get the flu, they really have some kind of other virus. So now, if a vaccine is specific to a strain of flu, and they figure out what strain to use by looking at what strain of flu hits the Asian countries because they're one season ahead of us, and 70% of the time they get it wrong, I mean, you really have a small percentage chance that they even get the right flu virus. But then what if you get exposed to one of these viruses that's not even the flu? Right? You're not going to be protected. But the nice thing about these herbs is it's non-specific. It's not like, well, this is good for only this infection. It's good for boosting your immune system. And things like silver are antiviral, just generally speaking, which is great.
I've been taking astragalus for the last 3 or 4 months just because, and I feel great from it.
Yeah,
it's not extravagant in terms of how I feel, but I feel sustainable in terms of my health. You know how sometimes you can just feel yourself like, God, I'm really burning myself out. This is not good. You know it's not good inside of you, but you're still pushing because you're growing your business or whatever it is. I haven't felt that way. I felt like, I'm okay right now. I'm not the Titanic. I'm going to make it to the other side of the ocean.
Yeah, absolutely. And just reading this study here on the flu vaccine, the author's conclusion there, Thomas Jefferson, was influenza vaccines have a very modest effect in reducing influenza symptoms and working days lost in the general population, including pregnant women. No evidence of association between influenza vaccination and serious adverse events was found in comparison, and they looked at 90 studies. So again, really insignificant regarding its effects on helping people with the flu.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's important for me because we want to upregulate people's immune function. So let's kind of run down a couple of things off the bat. We talked about medicinal mushrooms. I'm a big fan of reishi. I also like cordyceps. Chaga is good. Coriolis is good. These are some good ones. I'm switching right now from reishi to cordyceps because of its adaptogenic adrenal effects. So I'm just switching here for the next.
Now, let me
few
ask
months.
you this.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt you here. Are you noticing any serious energy improvement? Because I know cortisol is typically used a lot for endurance athletes, and I know the Chinese were using it during the Olympics, and that was one of their secrets. Do you notice a significant energy yourself? Because I personally have it.
You haven't noticed?
Not like extreme. I mean, I've only been taking it here for a couple days, but I know it's probably a bit more of like a tonic effect. What do you notice from it specifically?
Yeah, with the mushrooms, I mean, I notice more of a tonic effect. I know the research on it is robust, especially in these Asian countries. It's part of the culture a lot of times. So they've done a lot of research on it, and I understand the research. I mean, I have a book right in front of me on my desk. I'll show it up on the Skype. It's called The Health Benefits of Medicinal Mushrooms, and it talks about how to restore immune function, improve outcomes of serious illnesses, cancer, kidneys, liver health. I mean, I'm looking at studies here where they're citing like using some of these herbs to help organ transplants, right? I mean, this is powerful stuff. I mean, in this country, we just use immune suppressive drugs and corticosteroids, right? But in other countries, they're using a lot of these mushrooms. So I don't notice a huge benefit just in general, but if I do get sick, I never get sick. And when I do, I recover super fast. I never have to take a day off of work or see my patients. So that's a good thing. And, you know, I operate at a high level. So my goal is to keep operating at that high level. So it's hard to notice a big difference when you're already at that high level.
Right. I know. It's kind of like you've broken the meter already. So if you come back down into the meter's range, you may feel something, but otherwise you're not.
Yeah, and I wanted to just come back to that flu vaccine thing. I'm going to read you that part of the study. This was profound for me. It said, over 200 viruses can cause influenza. At best, vaccines may only be effective against influenza A and B, which only represent about 10% of all circulating viruses. So that's big. It says annually, the World Health Organization estimates which viral strain should be included in the next season. It's kind of like I said, they use the Asian countries to predict. So you can see only 10% of those viruses are actually going to be the flu-like viruses.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know it is. So getting back to the immune system, we talked about medicinal mushrooms. So I think you can't go wrong with reishi. I like something that's at least 4% standardized tridipine. You know, the extract, at least 4% tridipine content and at least 10% polysaccharide. That's
Are you
important.
doing capsule?
Yeah, I like the capsule. Yep, I do. You want to comment on the mushrooms at all?
I've been using Aloha Medicinal for them. Now, I know that they do grow some of their stuff on sorghum, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember specifically, but they have an organic mushroom operation. It's just always such a debate. You hear so much crap in the mushroom world of quality and, oh, mine's wild crafted. And it's hard to find good quality, but I've had great results so far with that one.
That's great. Really good.
What do you use?
I use a couple. I use some by MycoHerb. I like MycoHerb a lot. Mushroom Science is one. I think it's JBL. They're the private practitioner line from Mushroom Science. Really good mushrooms. I like MycoHerb right now. They're out of Santa Cruz. They're a really good company. I like them too.
Now, is that a liquid? I think I've seen that one.
No, that one is a capsule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of another thing that you've told me about before.
Yeah, there's another one by a company, David Winston's company, Herbalist and Alchemist. It's called 7 Precious Mushrooms. That's a liquid extract that's really powerful too.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But mushrooms are a great, resource to add to your medicine cabinet. Now, nutrients too, like vitamin C is a real powerful nutrient. Anywhere between, 4,000 to 8,000 milligrams or 4 to 8 grams is powerful. Typically, you can just go up to bowel tolerance. It's a pretty good standpoint. When you tap out your vitamin C reserves, you just get loose stools, kind of like with magnesium. And that can be powerful because that vitamin C docks on to a receptor site right in that lymphocyte and helps it gobble up more of those bacteria or crud more efficiently.
Yeah, and I say if you're going to go with vitamin C to use a mixed form that's going to have your calcium ascorbates, your flavonoids, your magnesium ascorbate, things like that.
Yeah, like an ester C or a good bioflavonoid mix with the hesperidin and the rutin and the acerola extracts. Yeah, I carry one on my site that's very good too.
Cool.
Awesome. Next, let's dig in. Zinc is really powerful. Again, 50 milligrams of zinc a day can be good. I mean, if you're eating really good paleo nutrients, good animal products, some nuts and seeds and such, maybe even some oysters, those can be phenomenal sources of zinc. Again, you can always do a zinc tally test. We've talked about this before. A zinc tally test is, I think it's zinc chloride or zinc sulfate, one of the two. It's one of the liquid.
Sulfate, yeah.
Zinc sulfate. You take a shot of it. It's really cool when you go to paleo parties. You do your shot of zinc sulfate. Yeah, but there's no real buzz with it. But the overall goal is you just see how good it tastes, how good or bad it tastes. The faster it tastes better, the more zinc deficient you are. The faster it tastes tart or sour or metallic-y, the less you need.
I've told people that it tastes furry when you drink zinc before.
Yeah, I can taste furry, like you're chewing on like a copper wire or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had it before where I've been so deficient where it tasted just like water until I swallowed it, and then I started to taste it. So I've definitely had a history of zinc deficiency. Yeah,
when we go out to the Bulletproof conference, we'll have to pregame with our zinc sulfate to get ready. What do you think?
Sounds good.
So the zinc's a real powerful one. Zinc's important for the immune cells. It's important for hydrochloric acid. It's an important precursor for sex hormones. So I like zinc. Vitamin A is also very important. Dr. Jonathan Wright's lectured on vitamin A as an antiviral benefit. We do liquid vitamin A with patients that are, have a viral infection, and we can combine it with vitamin C as well.
To me, I also always stressed on the importance of vitamin D. The average American is in the mid-20s or 30s anyway with their vitamin D level because they're inside and they cover up their skin too much. So always wanting that vitamin D level, minimum 50. I like 70. If you have cancer or something like that, it needs to be even higher. But vitamin D is so important, and I think that's part of the reason why people get sick in the winter, because that level gets even lower than it already is. It's already dangerously low in most people.
I'm going to do a shot of vitamin D right now while you're talking about it, Evan.
I'm guessing you're going to be taking 5,000 IU right now?
I'm probably going to be taking about 30,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's 2,000 a drop. It's my emulsify vitamin D. It's 2,000, so I did like about 10 drops, about 20,000 units. but I'm ready. My immune system's revved up. One of the protocols I give my patients for acute vitamin D dosage is we'll actually do 1,000 units, 1,000 IUs per pound of body weight for up to 3 days. So for myself, I'm 200 pounds, so I would do 200,000 IUs, which, for that, I think that's, that would be, see here, 2,000 divided by 200. So that's about do the math, that's 100 drops. So you do that over the course of a day, do that for 3 days in a row. And that really revs up your immune system because vitamin D upregulates this antimicrobial peptide known as cathelicidin. Say that 3 times fast.
I don't think I could say it 1 time fast.
I know. And that's a antimicrobial peptide, and it can gobble up viruses and gobble up intruders.
Yeah.
And it's also, go ahead.
I wanted to interrupt you because you did the good way. You did the tincture for people that, we're not recording these videos. Maybe we should, but...
We will soon.
All right. So you did the liquid. Now, if you go to your conventional mainstream health educator, they're going to give you, if they ever even consider giving you vitamin D, they're going to give you a little crappy tablet that has so many fillers and binders, and
50,000.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Vitamin D2, it's ergocalciferol, not cholecalciferol. They synthesize it via lanolin in the lab, right? The vegetarians and vegans love it, but it's not, because it's not animal based, but again, it's not the natural vitamin D3 you get from outside. And just to be clear, getting sunlight vitamin D is even better because you get all these different, these other vitamin D compounds that come along with the pre-vitamin D3 that's made on your skin. But let's face it, it's just not going to be practical in the fall. It's not going to be practical in the winter months. So we got to have another strategy. So vitamin D3 liquid, I like MCT-based vitamin D3. That's super helpful. And that also helps increase the T regulatory cells. And the T regulatory cells, they kind of come in there and they balance out the TH1 and TH2. They come in there and they have like a modulatory effect. So we talk about adaptogens a lot, helping to modulate stress and immune function. Well, think of vitamin D as a modulator on your immune system, on that TH1 and TH2 seesaw.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I've seen that now foods, they have a vitamin D3 that's a cholecalciferol that's from lanolin. So apparently now they can make D3 from it.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah.
It comes with extra virgin olive oil as the filler, if you will, for the soft gel.
Yeah, it's better than most.
Yeah.
I like that. So vitamin D is really important. Vitamin C is really important. Vitamin A is really powerful. I mean, you can do up to 75,000 units of vitamin A, and 6 to 8 grams of vitamin C is a real powerful pack that you can do if you get sick acutely. I like that one. The vitamin D at that acute dose of 1,000 units per pound of body weight for 3 days is powerful as well. We talked about the medicinal mushrooms. Silver is great. I'll do anywhere between a teaspoon, 3 to 6 times a day to help knock out any viruses, and I'll even gargle with it and hold it in my throat for a bit if my throat's feeling a little icky to help clean out maybe any infectious debris that's kind of bound on to the mucosal tissue. I like that. Anything else you want to touch upon for the listeners?
Well, the adaptogens that we've talked about, the mushrooms and stuff, can be considered adaptogens, but if you're taking something that's going to take the load off of your adrenal glands, it's a side effect that it's going to boost your immune system too. So when I So when I start feeling like crap, if I'm taking, say, some mushrooms, I may add in something else to that, such as rhodiola. I really enjoy it just because sometimes the winter months in general are just depressing with that lack of bright light. So I like the mild antidepressant effect from rhodiola, but then I feel a good endurance boost just overall for life's vitality.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm a huge fan of adaptogens. As you know, I've gotten on this soapbox many times. I mean, right now I'm on a combination adaptogen with
What'd you take today?
Combo, rhodiola, ginseng, eleuthero, and ashwagandha.
Cool.
My basic combo. Some days I'll focus on one or the other. I mean, I love it. Life's just a little better with an adaptogen, and I could deal with stress a little bit better too. So adaptogens, I think, are powerful. And in my blog article back a couple of years ago called Why You Keep Getting Sick and How to Boost Your Immune System, we'll put that in the show notes. That's a powerful article that kind of gives you all the nuts and bolts of what we're talking about today. So on that note, the next thing I would do is astragalus. Astragalus is really awesome herb, and I do that, 300 to 400 milligram capsules, and I'll do that every hour or two when I'm acutely sick to really upregulate my immune system.
Yeah,
like
I've been using Lucky's Market. It's very rare for people to have Lucky's Market near them, but they have a great private labeled organic astragalus that I felt great benefit from. So that's what I'm taking.
Yeah, that's a really good one too. We talked about the ginger tea. We talked about the mushroom, the silver. Echinacea augustifolia is great. Huge fan of that. That has a really good immune boosting benefit. And again, I like the purpurea part as well as the augustifolia part. I do both because echinacea also has many different kinds. So I do the aerial and the root parts, both, because you get a lot of the active benefits in the root, in the purpurea part. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you get one that's powerful amount of alkaloids. The alkaloids are like the active compounds, so you want to make sure the alkaloids are higher, and then make sure it's purpurea root, not just the echinacea augustifolia, especially the flower. That's not going to have as much active components.
Yep. I think that covers it. I think that's a great summary of immune support.
Okay, so what's the takeaway? So someone's like, crap, Evan and Justin, you just went over my head. You guys talk too much. You bored me out. I'm 25, 30 minutes in. What's the take home? Like, what do I do here? I would say for my take on things off the bat would be just cut the sugar and the crap out of your diet. Make sure that's good. If you're under a lot of stress, do your best to modulate the stress or get some sleep too, because that immune system requires a lot of rest, and that's part of the reason why when you get tired, or when you get sick, you get tired, because the immune system is sucking up a lot of energy. So if you get tired when you're sick, listen to your body, get an extra couple hours of sleep that will allow your immune system to recharge. And then on top of that, you got the diet, the lifestyle, you're adding some protein, you're adding some bone broth. Take a look at 2 or 3, maybe even 4 of the supports that we talked about. Vitamin D and vitamin C, I think, are a really good staple. And then pick an herb or a mushroom and add that in at a therapeutic level and really get your immune system upregulated.
I have nothing to add. That was great.
You got to add something.
All right, let me add something. Do some bone broth. If you're scared of putting capsules in your mouth, which sometimes if you don't do the research and you just take something because we told you to, I wouldn't do that. Definitely do your own homework and stuff first and look into these things. But everybody could go to the store and buy prepackaged organic free-range bone broth now. It's available for like $2, the brand Pacific. They even have a bison bone broth. It's amazing. I haven't had it yet, but it's amazing that it exists, and I bought some, and I have it in the pantry, so I might do that today. That's the next thing. Do the bone broth and keep up with it. Good glutamine, other different nutrients inside of there. It's cheap.
A lot of glycine too.
It's real food. Just stick with the real food.
And there's nothing better than like curling up on a couch with a little bit of bone broth and a little sea salt on there and just sipping it. Man, it's just like heaven on earth.
It's meditative, that's for sure.
Yeah, totally. Like I did a little ginger tea before bed last night. That was very like restorative for me. But tonight I think I'm inspired now to do the bone broth tonight.
That's cool. You just need a little furry bunny blanket now.
One of those Huggies, right?
Yeah.
Love it. Cool. All right, Evan, great talk. Hope everyone enjoyed listening at home, and we'll be back next week.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Got a question for Dr. J? Go to beyondwellnessradio.com and click the questions button. Then tune in to hear the answer. Also, if you like the show, click below to review us on iTunes. For more Beyond Wellness Radio, go to beyondwellnessradio.com.